after Christ and came and made the deaf mute be able to talk with enlightenment, with knowledge and understanding, and you still can't see the false prophet, how they use you, how they use the people, because they recite some words out the Bible and say, the Bible said that they lying on him. They lying with their tongue. That they lying. None of these things come to pass that they prophesize over these folk. And they go from town to town, city to city with these conventions prophesizing. They leave with $50,000 and you leave with 50 cents. You know it's the truth.
Yes, I mean, what you're saying, I have to admit, I'm in agreement with what you're saying, because it seemed like I would go back to the modern day Pharisees that we once talked about.
Amen.
To where God equip us and He give us revelation. And He use us as His servant to be a mentor to His people. And when you start doing that, and I feel like what has happened is people get hooked and give too much praise to the man rather than to God. And then that man see that, and he see it as being easy. You know, because even with my ministry, before you and I got married with Divas for Christ, we had some prophets to come through, and the things they were saying was real. But then they have been misused so by the people until they started taking advantage of the people. They started taking advantage of the people, you know, for the money. Well, we need $27 in this line. We need $52 over here. God says sow a seed for 52, so one for 27. And I'm sitting there and I'm going, okay, for what purpose? What is He going to do with it? I mean, God, He's got all the money. He can bless the house. If it's His will, it's His bill, as Pastor say.
Amen.
So you don't drain the people, you know. And one thing, I had an apostle that when he take up the offering, he put it back out into the people.
Have you ever seen?
He give it back. He's so into people. You got a bill. You got this. And just start blessing people. And that's what it should be.
Have you ever seen in the Bible where they told them to sow a certain seed?
No.
Where they told them to give a certain amount of money and God was going to bless them?
No.
Well, that would let you know that it's game. That would let you know that it's a lying prophet. That let you know that they got a false doctrine. But they can preach a good sermon. They can sing a good song.
Now, I can agree. Now, I know ministry, it takes money to run a ministry. But I'm a sole believer is that when you say give from your heart, whatever God put in your heart to do or give. Now, I've seen times, now myself, I've seen and watched ministry on TV, and I might sow a seed because I've been led to sow. You know, Marilyn Hickey, she have a good ministry. She do a lot of good things. And I might sow because it takes money to do ministry.
Yes.
But you need to give from your heart. Just like with us. I mean, we getting ready to do our 2nd year anniversary, and all we do is take up an offering once a week. We only there on Sundays. But we don't put a demand on the people. But God always increase whatever they give. And we manage to pay our bills. That's what's very important to the people is no, we're not putting a price on you. We're not forcing your hand to give. You got to be freely to give, to be freely blessed. Now, because when you pay that 10%, now if you pay your tithe, and that's one thing I'm going to get on. Tithes have got to be paid. A lot of people don't believe in paying tithe. That's why they always stay up the creek in finances. God gonna get his 10%. If He give you 90%, at least give Him 10%. That's how His house stay intact. His 10%, because He gonna increase that 10%.
Do you see how at the temple, at the West Side Tribe Temple of the Living God, where we fellowship. Do you see how when we do communion every week?
Every Sunday.
After testimonies, we do communion. And after communion, we pass the collection,
The offering tray.
the offering tray, for you to pay your tithes or give an offering. We do not preach a sermon or sing a song and wind the people up and then put the cup out. Because we know, and it's good singers. We know that it's good piano players, good drum, good bass players. We know that when people get emotional, get the feeling good, they'll overspend, they'll overindulge, they'll overgive. And after they get home, they be hurt. They have a burden on them. They done messed up. But they thinking that's the way that seems right to lead to destruction. So we let God tell people, place on their heart what to give before the sermon is even preached, for the message ever come out, for the singing ever start. We let them do that for while they are conscious and calm and peace. We're not trying to rob anybody. We don't want the check. What we want is the word to get into them, to saturate, to penetrate their hearts.
Yes.
This is why there's no emphasis on your clothes and your hairdo and all that. This is why folks minister in short pants and blue jeans and dresses and skirts and short pants. All these, we were just worshiping God. But the unseen hand, it has to be revealed, because some people been up on it and they feel as though that is the way. They feel as though they're being used and don't know. You know who you are. You know that you're being used. You know that it's been going on in the church, and you talk about it behind the preacher's back. But these things need to be confronted. This need to be stopped. Somebody need to catch the hand in the cookie jar, as they call the cookie jar. Somebody needs to say, take your hand out of my pocket, you false prophet. God ain't said that, because you said that God said so-and-so, so-and-so. You know, you got preachers like a preacher I know out of Houston. He said that he don't preach sin. He preached only encouraging things in the Bible. All the prosperity and how God want to prosper. God do want to prosper, but God wants you to stop sinning too. Why God want to prosper you and you living against God? But people want to hear it, so it brings thousands and thousands of people come out, that they're not going to be offended by the wrong that they do against God. They're only going to be patted on the back. They have itching ears. They're going to hear a bunch of sweet nothings in their ears. So they're going to give. They're going to give tremendously, because they don't see the unseen hand. They don't see somebody turning up the value and cutting their pocket off with the razor blade.
Oh, wow. Bishop, man, I'm telling you, this has been a marvelous interview here. The unseen hands, man. And I know you're gonna come back with part 2 on the unseen hands, but right now we're gonna talk about the anniversary. Are you excited?
Yes.
I am too. It's really exciting. You know, the anniversary is celebrating things that God has done for you. You're letting people know how good God has been. Anniversary is about giving praise and thanks to God for all the blessing and really using you to do kingdom building work. When you know you've been chosen by God to do things, He entrusts all His sheep in your hand. And it's amazing. I'm just excited, because, we don't do membership there at the temple. So freely you come, freely you go. If you want to stop in anytime, the doors is open. And we're located at 4122 Kilgore Street. That's Dallas, 75212. And if you'd like to call us, you can call us at 972 650-7065 and give us a call. And tomorrow afternoon at 8 o'clock, we'll be kicking the doors in. So come out and join us tomorrow evening. And we'll be back next week